Hello, my dear students, and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 4 of an 11-part series of tutorials in word processing using Microsoft Word. In this tutorial, I'm going to speak about how you can proofread your document. That is, proofreading a document. My name is Meme GM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. Proofreading is the process of finding out whether the document has any typographical or grammatical errors. The 5 main tools of proofreading a document include spelling and grammar checker, Thesaurus, Autocomplete, Autocorrect, undo and redo. Let's commence by looking at spelling and grammar checker. A spelling and grammar checker is an inbuilt tool that helps the user to correct the spelling errors and incorrect grammar structures. Once the term is spelled or not recognized by word, are highlighted by underlining the word with a jagged red line. In addition, a phrase or a sentence that contradicts grammatical rules or has inaccurate spacing between characters is underlined using a green jagged line. The grammar checker displays possible grammatical errors and correction suggestions. You could choose to ignore the suggestions or change or accept suggestions. To check your document for spellings and grammar, number 1, you click on the review menu and select the spelling and grammar option. To correct the spelling and grammar, click any of the following based on the error and suggestion displayed under grammar. Number 1, you can click on ignore or ignore all if you want to leave the current word or have further checking of the word respectively and continue the spelling check. Use it if the displayed word is correct. For example, if you have a word that maybe is for a person or a place and that name is not known by the dictionary, then it will be highlighted as being an error or a mistake. So in that case, you can click on ignore or ignore all. You can also click on change or change all if you want to change only the current occurrence. So if you want to change only the current occurrence, you click on change. But if you want to change all the occurrences of that wrong word in the document with the correct suggestion, then you can click on change all. You can also use it after selecting the correct word from those suggested under suggestions. You can also click on add if you want to add the word into the custom dictionary. Use it if the one displayed is correct, but it's not in the Microsoft Office dictionary, and you would like it to be added. Then you can click on autocorrect if you want to add the word to autocorrect list so that it can always be automatically corrected as you type. And then you click OK button when told that the spell check is complete. The following is a demonstration on how we can check for spellings and grammar in our document by the title Emily Swap Details. My dear students and the rest of the learners, as you can see from this document, we have a number of ones that have been highlighted, just as I have explained. For example, we have this word here, Emily swap. It is underlined in red, meaning that the dictionary either knows it or it does not know it. It knows it, but it has a mistake. It has a grammatical error. There is also this other word here that is underlined in red, meaning the dictionary is discovering that there is a mistake or an error. We also have this one and this other one. We also have this one, which is underlined in blue, meaning there's no grammatical error, but there is a problem. There is a typographical error. So, how do we proceed to do our corrections? So you click on review menu. You click on the review menu. So you click on the review. Remember, this is in Microsoft Office Word 2016. The earlier versions might have a different name instead of review. So you click on the review menu, just as I have said. So let's click on the review menu. So you click on the review, and then once you have clicked on review, you will see the spelling and the grammar, just as I have circled. So you click on the spelling and the grammar. Once you have clicked on the spelling and grammar, this pane here will appear. So the ones that have errors will be displayed. For example, we have Emily swap. So if we want our name that has an error, that is this one, to be replaced with the suggested one across the entire document, then we can click on change all. But if you want the change to occur to an only single occurrence, then we can click on the change. And therefore, let's click on change all, so that in the case there is any further errors of the same, they can all be corrected. So from the suggestion given, there may be several suggestions here. So you select the correct one. For example, that one. And then you click on change or change all. Note that I have already two suggestions. I have this Emily swap as the first suggestion, and I have the second one. So because Emily swap is an acronym, I'll select Emily swap in uppercase, and then I'll click on change all. So I'll click on the correct suggestion, and then I click on change all. As you can see from our document, a replacement has been done where there was an error. So I have Emily swap. And anywhere else in one document, we have Emily swap in capital. However, there are some further errors. We are going to see how we can correct them. So you continue. After making the first correction, we have another error displayed. So we have this error. And the suggestion, we have two suggestions. We have the first suggestion, channels which and channels that. So we can read our statement and see what correction we need. So from this paragraph, I have Emily Swap is a content creator for ICT and life skills materials. He runs 2 YouTube channels, which are, and therefore here, what I need is a comma. And therefore, I will pick the first suggestion. So I'll click on, I'll select the first. And then I'll click on change. And therefore, the first error has disappeared. But we have another error, this one. And the suggestion is here. So it means that the column there is not important according to our dictionary. So I can click on change. But do we really need to have this word there? Do we need to lose our column? No, because I'm listing 2 channels, according to my preference, I want it to remain the way it is. So that the statement reads as, he runs 2 YouTube channels, which are, so that I can list them, Emily Swap ICT and Emily Swap Life Skills. So according to me, this is correct. And for that reason, I'll click on ignore. So I'll click on ignore. I'll click on ignore. From there, our next error is displayed, which is this one. So if I read the sentence, MLSoft ICT YouTube channel covers various topics in computing field. This is supposed to be computing field. So it's supposed to be field. So from my suggestions here, I have filled, I have viewed, fireweed, etc. So my correct one is this one. So I'll click on filled. And then I'll click on change all, so that if the same error occurs many times within the document, all the errors can be corrected. Our next error has been displayed. So our next error is this one. So this one is supposed to read, it covers information and communication technology. Technology. So if you check here, my dear students and the rest of the learners, the suggestion that we have is techno. We don't have any other suggestion here. So in that case, if you realize that there is a word which has an error, but there is no suggestion that is correct among the list given, then what you do is you click at that point within your document and correct the word manually yourself. And for that reason, I'll click here under techno, and then I will correct my word. It's supposed to be technology. Technology. So I have already corrected the word manually. Once you do manual correction by typing within the grammar section or the pen, what you do to continue the spelling and grammar checking is you click on resume. So I'll click on resume. And therefore, our next one is displayed. Our next one is inspirational. This one is supposed to read inspirational. So is our suggested one correct? Yes, this is inspirational. So I'll click on, I'll select the correct one from the spelling and the grammar in, and then I'll click on change or change all. But if, for example, I wanted to ignore, if the one is correct and I want to ignore it altogether, I can click on ignore all. But if I want it to be added in our dictionary, I can click on add. So I'll select the word and then I can click on add, or I can click on ignore all for all the occurrences to be ignored, or I click on ignore for the single occurrence to be ignored. However, in this case, the correct word is already suggested. It is inspirational. So I'll select inspirational and then I can click on change all, so that if there's a similar occurrence within my document, I don't need to keep on doing the correction. So I'll click on inspirational, then I click on change all. From there, my dear students and the rest of the learners, you can see there's a dialog box that has appeared informing us that the spelling and grammar check is complete. So in this case, I'll click on OK. And that's all. That's how you can do the spelling and grammar check. Once you have done that, it's always good to save your changes. So click on Save button, or you can click on File menu and then you click on Save, so that the changes can be stored. So I'll click on the File menu and then I can click on Save. So our changes have been saved. So our corrections have also been done. And as you can see, our document does not have any further underlines or errors. So that's what we call a proofreading using the spellings and grammar checker. Our next tool for proofreading is called Thesaurus. What is Thesaurus? Thesaurus is an editing tool that helps the user to find words or phrases with similar, that is synonyms, or opposite, that is antonyms, meaning to the one selected. It is an editing tool that can help you to be able to find words or phrases with similar meaning to the one selected, that is what we call synonyms, or with opposite meaning to the one selected, which we call the antonym. To look up for words in the Thesaurus, you select a word or a phrase, and then you click on the Review menu and click on the Thesaurus. From the Thesaurus task pane that will be displayed, you click on any of the synonyms displayed, or select the word or phrase with the antonym and closed in brackets to get its opposite meaning or its antonym. Then, to replace a selected word or phrase with its synonym or antonym, you right-click on the proposed word of choice and you click on Insert. Then you close the Thesaurus task pane by clicking on its Close button. The following is a demonstration on how we can make use of the Thesaurus in our document by the title Emily Swap Details. So while in our document, which is Emily Swap Details, we can be able to use the Thesaurus. So what you do is you click on the Review menu. You click on the Review menu, that is at this point, and then you get the Thesaurus. So let's click on Review. Once you click on Review, you can see we have our option, that is the Thesaurus listed next to spelling and grammar. So you click on this button here, Thesaurus. So we shall click on Thesaurus. Or you double click on Thesaurus. And then you select the word. Always it's going to be systematic. So if you want to use the Thesaurus, first of all, select the word whose other meaning you would want to have, or another one with the same meaning or opposite meaning. For example, let me find out if there's a synonym for the word creator. So what I'll do is you select creator. After you select creator, you click on Thesaurus. Once you click on Thesaurus, it will give you some suggestions. So this is Thesaurus task pane. This is Thesaurus task pane. From this task pane, you can see we have the one that we have selected. And then below it, we have several suggestions. Ones with similar meaning to the one selected, and we have the opposite of that one. With this one, antonym enclosed. So what we need to do is, if, for example, we want to make any replacement, we can select any other appropriate synonym in our case. So the synonym for creator, according to the Thesaurus here, is another one for creator is maker, inventor, originator, architect, designer, author, initiator. But the opposite for it is destroyer. So if I wanted to replace the one creator with the which would be the most probable one? Is it maker? How would it look really? Emily Swap is, remember, creator is this one. So the sentence reads, Emily Swap is a content creator for ICT. So can I replace creator with maker? Emily Swap is a maker, is a content maker. Does not make sense. Emily Swap is a content inventor. It is somehow bad. Emily Swap is a content originator. Emily Swap is a content architect, a content designer, a content author, a content initiator. Maybe I can have the one content author. So maybe I can select this one. So what you do, you click on the one of your choice. When you click, you can see there's a small button here, which will be displayed. And if you double click, more suggestions will be given. So we have several options here. In case you make a mistake and you are taken further down the list, you can always click on back. You can always click on this button here to be taken back to the original list. So I'll click on content initiator. So you click on it. If you want to replace the one creator with initiator, then you click on this button, which is just next to the synonym that you want. So you click there, and then you click on insert. So the one we had selected, which was creator, has been replaced with initiator. But if I wanted to have antonym for it, the antonym for initiator, that is the antonym for creator. The antonym for creator is destroyer. So in case I wanted to know the opposite meaning of the one selected, that is creator, then I can click on destroyer, which is an antonym. In case you wanted to get further antonyms, for example, for maker, that is further synonyms for maker, you just double click maker, or you click on maker. It will give you some more lists. If you want to go back once and then look for another synonym for inventor, you just double click inventor. It will give you discover, originator, creator, architect, author, etc. So that's how you use the Thesaurus to check for synonyms and antonyms and do any replacement of your choice. Our next proofreading tool that you can always make use of in Word is Autocorrect. This is a feature that automatically detects wrongly spelled or capitalized ones and replaces them with the correct one automatically. To turn this feature on or off, you select languages or language preferences from language under review menu. Under word options, you click on proofreading or proofing. You click on proofing, then you click on autocorrect options. Then you select the replace text as you type checkbox to turn on the spelling checker corrections. Then you select the automatically use suggestions from the spelling checker checking box. You turn off the spelling checker corrections, or if you wanted to turn off the spelling checker of corrections, you click the same checkbox again. And then lastly, you click on OK to close the dialog box. Remember, the procedure is to turn this feature on, because it's not a must that it will be automatically on by default. So in case you want it to be turned on, or in case you want to turn it off, you select or you click on the review menu, and then under review menu, you click on language. Then under language, you select or you click on language preferences, and then you proceed as listed. So there's a demonstration on how you can set autocorrect feature in the document or in our document called Emily Swap Details. So we are back to our document. Our document is Emily Swap Details. So for us to be able to set the autocorrect feature on, if we want to set our autocorrect feature on, we can click on the review menu, just as I have said. So you click on review. Once you click on the review, you will be able to see this option here or this button here on language. So you click on language. Once you click on language, you select or you click on language preference. But if you want to also do settings for the language that you want to be using for proofreading, the English, Arabic, etc., you click on set proofing language. But our interest is on autocorrect feature. So what we need to do is we click on language preferences. Once you click on language preferences, the next part you need to click is on proofing. So you click on proofing. After you have clicked on proofing, as you can see, there are several items that you can do settings for, but we're interested with the autocorrect options. And therefore, if you want to change how one corrects and the format text as you type, you click on autocorrect options. So we shall click on autocorrect options. Once you click on autocorrect options, as you can see, there is another window that has appeared which is Autocorrect English, United States. So under Autocorrect window, there are several things that you can do. The first, or the one for our interest, is replacing text as you type. So you check on this checkbox to see if it is ticked. If it's not ticked, for example, if it's like that, then what you need to do is to check it. So I'll click on it. That means I have activated the replace text as I type. So which ones do you usually make errors or mistakes in, and you'd like them to be replaced with the correct one? So under replace, you type the one that you usually type with the errors or those spellings you are not usually sure of. For example, under replace, I can type the one great. For example, if I always write the one great like that, but I always want it to be great. Great. Then, and I replace with, I'll write great. So that if I make a mistake and write great, it can be always replaced with great. In case there is a word that you also want to, or in case you want to add that word on our list, you can always click on and. So I can click on and. So replace great with great. You can see there are others that can be easily typed with a mistake. For example, somebody may type this one instead of giving, or this one instead of global. So after you have typed the one that you want to be being replaced with, it's always good to click on and so that it is added on the list, like in our case. And then there's this checkbox here, automatically use suggestions from the spelling checker. So if it is not ticked, it's always good that you tick it. So it's always good that you check it so that our ones or the one that we have typed can always be automatically corrected. And once you are through with that, then you click on OK. So I'll click on OK. So you click on OK. And then, because you are through, you can click on OK. So that the word options can be closed. And that's all. So assuming we are writing our statement and then I write this, or if I write I am pleased to invite you to this channel or these channels. I greet you. You can see if I undo, I had written great. But because my interest is to greet you, once I am typing and then I write, I greet you. You can see I have written great, but I want to greet you. So I greet you. So once it is displayed, I greet you, you see, it has been changed to greet automatically because I've written the one in great and it's supposed to be replaced automatically. So I greet you. I greet you and welcome you. Come you to these channels. So you can see anytime I write the word great, it is replaced with greet. You can always correct a word like this one, I am, by right-clicking on it, and then you click the correct one from the suggestions. Like I am, this one. So I'm interested with this one with an apostrophe. So I can click on am. So that's also another way of making corrections. But you can see there's a further correction that has been introduced, so a further error. So I'll right click on it again, and then I am. And then you click on save. So that's how we can do the autocorrect. That's how we can do autocorrect, and also check spellings for any ones that are highlighted, either in red line or any other line, to show us that there is a possibility of our word or statement or sentence having an error. Our next tool for proofing or proofreading our document is called Autocomplete. This is a feature that displays a word when the user types the first few characters of the word, thus enabling the user to type faster by simply accepting the suggested word, if indeed he or she intends to type it. To accept the suggestion, press Enter key and continue typing other words or phrases. To turn autocomplete on or off, you click on the Review menu, then you click on Language, then click on Language Preferences, just where we have come from for autocomplete. Then click on Advanced under Word Options and select or clear the Show Autocomplete Suggestions checkbox. And then you click OK. So the following is a demonstration on how to turn autocomplete in this document called ML Swap Details on or off. So this is how you proceed. So once we are in our document, which is ML Swap Details, for us to set the autocomplete feature on or off, we click on a Review menu. So let's click on the Review menu. Once you have clicked on the Review menu, then you proceed as follows. So under Review menu, you click on Language. So let's click on Language. Under Language, you click on Language Preferences. So I've clicked on Language Preferences. Then under Word Options, dialog box that has been displayed, or a window if you wanted to, you click on Advanced. So I'll click on Advanced. Once you have clicked on Advanced, under Editing Options, you read through the list. You can read through the list of settings that you can make. For example, typing replaces text, or typing replaces selected text. If you want that to happen, when selecting, automatically select the entire word, allow text to be dragged and dropped, etc. So you can check or uncheck any of these checkboxes. But our interest is on autocomplete. So you can go through the list And then you can see I have show autocomplete suggestions here. If it is already checked, you leave it, meaning our autocomplete feature is already on. But if it is not checked and you want the autocomplete feature to be on to improve your speed in typing so that you don't need to be always typing complete ones, then you check this checkbox. So I'll check it, I'll tick it. So it now reads show autocomplete suggestions. So that is now active. And then lastly, you click on OK. So that's how you set your autocomplete feature on. Always remember, whenever you make any changes, you click on save to save your work. The other very important feature for proofreading is the undo and redo. This is a feature that allows the user to reverse the changes or mistakes made during editing, formatting, or drawing. The undo command allows you to reverse the changes you have made in a document, starting with the last action towards the previous actions. It is done by clicking the undo command from the quick access toolbar for Microsoft Office Word 2016. The redo command allows you to reverse the changes that you have made in a document with the use of an undo command. It is done by clicking on the redo button from the quick access toolbar. The following is a demonstration on how we can use the undo and redo to reverse changes made in the document called ML Swap Details. So while we are in our document, if, for example, you find that you have made a mistake, like if, for example, you by mistaken or you make a mistake and, for example, delete text, like what has happened. So if I want to reverse or to have my text brought back or the change that has been done reversed, what you need to do is to click on the button and do this one. So this is what we are calling quick access toolbar. So for us to reverse our change that has occurred, you point on the undo. This one, you can see it is undo typing. So you click on undo once. You can see our text has been brought back. And you can continue undoing all the way to the very first change that you made. Let's continue to undo. We see what will happen as you continue clicking. You can see we are being taken back to the changes we made. As you can see, there is a change which is happening from here. Just look. As you continue clicking on undo, we are being taken back to the previous status of our document. And if you click on this button here, if you click on this button in between undo and redo, you'll see very many changes that you made. So let's click there. You can see this is a list of all the changes we have made in our document today. So if you want to reverse all of them at once, you just select the entire list like that, and then you click. You select the entire list or a set of items that you want to reverse. And then the changes will be done, or the reverse or the actions you took will be reversed. So you can see I have reversed almost all the changes. But if you find out that you have clicked on undo, or you have undone your changes, including spellings and etc. by mistake, and you want to reverse them, you can always undo or redo the changes you have already made. So that's what you need to do is you click on redo. So this is redo button from the quick access toolbar. So you can click on redo. You can see it reads redo typing. So I can continue clicking on redo button until the changes are reversed. But you can also select all of them at once. You can always select all of them at once, or the actions you have taken can be reversed. If you make a mistake and open a document like the way I've done, by clicking on new, you can always close that one. So that's how we do the redo and undo. So I can undo that, and then I'm back to my original document the way it was after the corrections and after checking the spellings and the grammar. So I can change my changes. I can save my changes. I can now save my changes by clicking on save button. So that's how we use the undo and the redo tool. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of the tutorial on how you can proofread your document, or how you can be able to make corrections, all the corrections that you want in your typed text. So whenever you are creating a document, you don't need to first of all pay attention to the errors you are making. What you should always do is just type your work continuously first. And then once you are through with typing your text and saving your document, you can come later and do the spell checking and all other necessary proofing or proofreading activities. And with that, therefore, I welcome you to proceed to part 5 of 11 of the series, in which I'm going to demonstrate to you on how you can format your document. And in this tutorial, that is our next tutorial, which is part 5, I'll pay attention to text formatting. Congratulations. Congratulations for learning part 4 of 11 on proofreading a document. You can access other parts in word processing series, as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on MLSwap ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading and subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write it to us through the email mlswap@gmail.com. Let's meet in part 5 of my series of tutorials in word processing. God bless.